Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on everything early childhood related. And if these are the kind of videos you're looking for, all you have to do is subscribe. And not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today, I'm going to be talking about top skills an early years educator needs. Yes, in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the top skills an early years educator needs. Yes, are you an early years educator, an emergent early years educator? You're wondering, what are the top skills that you should have? This video is going to be focusing on this. Please ensure that you watch it to the end. So, as an early years educator, one of the top skills you need to have is you need to be an effective collaborator. Yes, you need to be an effective collaborator. You need to be able to work as a member of a team. This is important. If you're an early years educator, an emergent early years educator, you need to be an effective collaborator. You need to understand that as an early years educator, an emergent early years educator, you're not going to be working on your own. You're going to be working with a co-educator. You're going to be liaising with the co-educator, with the parent, with the children as well. So you need to be an effective collaborator. You need to understand that you can't decide to say, yes, I'm an early years educator, I know my stuff, I can do my thing on my own. No, you need to be able to take into consideration others. Yes, this is important. You need to be able to listen to others, you need to take on board the opinions of others. This is why you have to be an effective collaborator. You're not just going to say, well, I know my stuff, I don't understand what the educator in the room is saying, doesn't make sense, what the parent is saying doesn't make sense, what the supervisor is saying doesn't make sense, what the manager is saying doesn't make sense. I know my stuff, I'm in charge, I'm in control of the room, you guys should leave me alone, let me do my stuff. No. As an early years educator or an emergent early years educator, one of the top skills you need to have is you need to be an effective collaborator. You need to be able to take into consideration the opinions of others. For instance, you need to be taking into consideration the opinion of the other educator in the room. If you have other educator working in the room with you, you need to be able to take their opinion into consideration. For instance, maybe there's some things that they observe about the children and they're discussing this with you. You need to be able into account this opinion. You're not just going to say, well, I didn't observe this doesn't happen, I don't know what you're talking about. Or the parent comes to you, they have a concern about their children, what they want you to support their children going forward. You're not going to say, well, I'm the educator here, I know my stuff, I have my qualification, what the parent is saying doesn't make sense. And you need to understand that parents are the primary caregiver of their young children. So we'll be discussing with you. You need to take this into consideration as well. So one of the top skills you need to have as an early years educator, an emergent early years educator, you need to be an effective collaborator. Next, you need to be able to communicate effectively. This is important. You need to be able to communicate effectively with the children, with your co-worker, maybe the other educator, the supervisor, the manager, the multidisciplinary team. Maybe, for instance, the child is availing of speech and language, play therapy, personal therapy. So you need to be able to listen to the multidisciplinary team. This is important as well. You need to be able to communicate effectively with them. What are the things that you're doing with the children in your early childhood classroom that they need to know? You're not just going to imagine that, yes, they know their stuff, they should know, I don't need to report to anybody, I don't need to give anybody feedback. So one of the top skills as an early years educator, an emergent early years educator, you need to be an effective communicator. You need to be able to pass your message across loud. They should be able to understand you, clearly in terms of a communication as well. Written communication as well is important as well. If you're writing a report, doesn't have to be legible. They need to understand, not writing in jargons. So in terms of communication as well, written is also important as well. But sometimes when people look at communication, they think it's only spoken. Yes, spoken verbal communication is important, but what about written communication? Even non-verbal communication as well, your posture, your hand gestures, how you're passing the message. People read this as well. You need to also understand that people read this as well. They read your facial expressions. If they're communicating with you, how you communicating back to them, your posture, your facial expression, all of this is important. So one of the top skills you need to have as an early child educator, an emergent early years educator, is you need to be an effective communicator. And it's also important that you be a good listener as well. You need to be able to listen to people. You need to be able to listen to the parents if they have a concern. You listen to them. Don't just say, well, you're not bothered. The children want to talk to you. You need to listen to them. Your co-worker, the multidisciplinary team. You're not going to say, well, I don't have time. I'm tired. I don't want to talk about this. No, you need to be an effective listener. One of the top skills you need to have is you need to be, as an early years educator, an emergent early years educator, is you need to be an effective listener. You need to be able to listen to people, the children as well. Don't just say, well, the children are young. No, what they're saying doesn't make sense. It does make sense. You need to understand that whatever you're doing is to support the children. And policies, legislation has stated as children should have a say in matters that concerns them. So if the children are talking to you, perhaps in relation to how you're going to support them, what they like to do, what they want to play with, you're not going to say, well, no, this is what we're going to play with now. We're not going to play with that. So, but you need to take their opinion into account as well. This is important. So in my next video, I'm going to continue in relation to the top skills that you need as an early years educator and emergent early years educator. This video helpful, what do you have to do? Please do subscribe. Subscription is free. And not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.